Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Subscribe and click like and activate the bell for more. Let us go. In the vast and snowy expanses of Alaska, Sonia Ivanov harbored a dream that shone brighter than the northern lights. Yearning for independence and a life beyond the confines of her family's expectations, Sonia envisioned a future filled with freedom and the vibrant warmth of her beloved city. Despite her family's pleas, cautioning her of the dangers that lay ahead, especially for the indigenous people who faced greater risks, Sonia's spirit remained unshaken. She was determined to carve her own path, even if it meant confronting the unknown. Join us as we unravel a story that twists and turns like the intricate patterns of an indigenous necklace, a narrative that will captivate you as the pieces of evidence converge, altering the investigation's trajectory. Sonia's journey to independence began with a move to Hawaii for university, driven by a desire to escape Alaska's dreary climate. Alongside her friend Timuri, she embraced a new life, working diligently to fund her education. Their days were filled with the simple joys of city walks, dining out, and the freedom of late-night strolls under the midnight sun. But the dream turned into a nightmare one fateful Sunday in August. After an evening with friends, Sonia decided to walk home alone, basking in the rare combination of sunset and rainfall. Little did she know, it would be her last journey. As the Alaskan sun dipped below the horizon, Sonia Ivanov relished the rare sight of rain at sunset. With no work the next day, she savored her freedom, unaware it would be her last walk home. When Timuri returned to their shared apartment, Sonia's absence was unsettling but not alarming, given her day off. However, concern grew as Sonia remained missing the next day. Calls to friends and family yielded no clues, and the lack of mobile phones at the time compounded the worry. Timuri's report to the police met with indifference until Sonia's work absence triggered a more serious response. The investigation intensified with the arrival of Sonia's brother-in-law and the involvement of Detective Redbourne. The discovery that Sonia's wallet and clothes were untouched at home hinted at foul play. A bruise, captured in a photo and linked to her friend Konak, raised suspicions. Was it a sign of unrequited love turned violent? The search for Sonia expanded to the sea, rivers, and an abandoned mining area. As the community rallied, the mystery deepened, leaving everyone to wonder. What happened to Sonia Ivanov? In the aftermath of a frantic search, a hospital colleague urged Timuri to rush to the police station for urgent news. Arriving amidst a crowd, she learned the devastating truth. Sonia was found, but not as they had hoped. Sonia was dead. As dusk fell, a firefighter, scouring the mine's vicinity, noticed tire tracks veering off the road into the underbrush. Following the trail led to a harrowing discovery. Sonia's lifeless body lay concealed among the foliage, her dignity stripped away, save for a single sock on her left foot. Investigators arrived, preserving the scene with meticulous care, yet Sonia's identity was obscured by the earth that cradled her and the hair that veiled her face. The surrounding blood hinted at violence, but the cause of death remained a mystery. Detective Redberg surmised an assault, given the state of undress. The local police, inexperienced with such grave crimes, awaited the state police's expertise. They protected the site from the elements and wildlife, maintaining a vigil over Sonia's remains. When dawn broke, forensic specialists combed the scene, concluding that a single bullet to the back of the head ended Sonia's dreams. Yet, the crime scene was eerily pristine. No DNA, no fingerprints, not even Sonia's clothes. It was as if the earth itself refused to bear witness to the atrocity committed upon it. In the chilling aftermath of Sonia Ivanov's murder, investigators pieced together a puzzle that pointed to a meticulous criminal. Steps from Sonia's body, a muddy spot on the road revealed a mix of blood, suggesting this was where she was fatally shot before being dragged into the bushes. The absence of defensive wounds on Sonia's body indicated a post-mortem assault, a grim detail awaiting confirmation by autopsy. The most telling clue lay in the tire tracks near the scene. 3 identical tires and 1 outlier, reminiscent of the Yosemite Park case, hinting at a unique vehicle profile. Amidst the foliage, a streak of blue paint on a branch scratched by a vehicle led detectives to surmise the killer's escape route. The height of the paint mark suggested a truck or 4x4, narrowing down the search. Konak, a friend of Sonia's, became the prime suspect. His alibi of hunting with friends did little to dispel suspicion, especially when a search warrant revealed incriminating evidence in his home. Bloody sneakers, a blue truck matching the paint on the branch, mismatched tires, and bloodstains throughout the vehicle. Forensic tests with a chemical akin to luminol turned the bloodstains green, confirming their origin. Despite the mounting evidence, detectives withheld accusations, waiting for conclusive test results before making an arrest. Under scrutiny, Konak's story crumbled. He claimed his last encounter with Sonia was innocuous, and a scratch on his back was from a different altercation. But the tire tracks, the paint, and the blood told a different story, one that would soon close the net around him. Konak, the prime suspect in Sonia Ivanov's murder, offered a peculiar defense for the blood found in his car and on his belongings. He claimed a tragic encounter with a wild rabbit was to blame for the mess, not a violent crime. His hunting trip, he argued, explained the rest. The investigators, however, remained skeptical. As the week progressed, the community buzzed with tips and sightings. Among the voices was Florence, who recalled seeing Sonia walking alone on the night of her disappearance. From her balcony, Florence witnessed a police car approach Sonia, and after a brief exchange, Sonia got in. This was the last time Florence saw her alive. Fearful of reporting her account, worried the officer might be the perpetrator, Florence hesitated. But with encouragement from a friend, she mustered the courage to call the police. The chief took her statement, yet weeks passed with no follow-up, leaving Florence in a state of dread, fearing she might share Sonia's fate. Meanwhile, Sonia's brother-in-law, Tom, frustrated with the police's lack of urgency, plastered missing posters at the station, only to be rebuked by Officer Maceo Owens for damaging the walls. Undeterred, Tom persisted, demanding justice for Sonia. 2 weeks later, autopsy results revealed Sonia was executed with a rare caliber bullet, and bruises on her body suggested a struggle. Yet, no DNA or fingerprints were found on her or her clothing, indicating the killer's careful planning. In a twist, forensic tests on Konak's truck tires did not match those at the crime scene, casting doubt on his guilt. As the investigation continued, Sonia's family laid her to rest, and the search for the truth pressed on. The case of Sonia Ivanov's murder took a dramatic turn when the evidence that once pointed to Konak as the culprit began to unravel. The dark blue paint from his car didn't match the light blue on the branch. The blood was from a wild animal, and the hunting site corroborated his alibi. In a stunning reversal, the evidence that seemed damning now proved his innocence. With the prime suspect cleared, the investigation hit a standstill. A month passed with no new leads, and the state investigators withdrew, leaving detectives Redbourne and Owens to chase shadows in a city that might not even harbor the criminal. Amidst the stagnation, internal strife brewed. Accusations of withheld information and lack of cooperation plagued the police department, undermining the investigation. Owens, fueled by frustration, revisited the case from scratch, determined to find a missed clue. His breakthrough came from Florence's overlooked testimony. She had seen Sonia enter a police car on the night of her disappearance. Yet, skepticism clouded Owens' judgment. The idea that one of their own could be involved was inconceivable, especially when the police fleet didn't match the description. Florence, persistent in her pursuit of justice, had recorded her testimony and sent it to the state police. This prompted a new investigation, one that could potentially expose a scandal within the police department if her claims held true. The search for truth continued, with the shadow of doubt cast over those sworn to uphold it. The investigation into Sonia Ivanov's murder took a perplexing turn with the mysterious disappearance of a police car. The vehicle, equipped with an electronic lock known only to officers, suggested an insider's involvement. Officers Matthew Owens and Stan Biscoya, both on duty the night Sonia vanished, became the focus of suspicion. As the two were scheduled for a lie detector test in Anchorage, a bizarre incident occurred. Hours before their flight, the police car was reported stolen. The search led by Owens and the department head culminated in a dramatic radio call. Owens claimed he was shot at by the car thief. However, Owens' account raised doubts. His claim of being shot lacked evidence. No shell casings were found, and his description of the assailant was non-existent. The discovery of an envelope under the broken car window, containing Sonia's ID and a taunting message to the police, only deepened the mystery. The letter's disdain for law enforcement and the claim of Sonia being an unintended victim added layers to the puzzle. Was this a ruse by the real perpetrator, or a red herring to mislead the investigation? The case continued to unravel, with each clue leading to more questions than answers. The discovery of a stolen police car, coupled with a threatening letter and Sonia's ID, intensified the mystery surrounding her murder. The letter, devoid of fingerprints or DNA, was a taunting message from the alleged killer, claiming to be an ordinary citizen and warning the police to back off. FBI analysts speculated that the timing of the car's disappearance, just hours before the scheduled lie detector test for the two suspect officers, might be a deliberate diversion. Officer Owens, one of the suspects, conveniently found the car and later claimed he was too shaken to take the test. The investigation revealed Owens' questionable behavior, including unauthorized passengers during patrols and rumors of inappropriate conduct with women. His inconsistent account of the night Sonia disappeared raised further suspicions, especially when his timeline conflicted with witness Florence's statement. As the pieces of the puzzle slowly came together, it became clear that Owens had unexplained knowledge of the crime scene and possibly used his authority to manipulate events. The lie detector test loomed over him, promising to unravel the truth behind his actions and Sonia's tragic end. Officer Owens' involvement in Sonia Ivanov's case grew increasingly suspicious as inconsistencies emerged. Despite his claims of not knowing Sonia personally, his failed lie detector test suggested otherwise. His ex-wife's testimony revealed he knew of Sonia's disappearance before it was officially reported, raising questions about his foreknowledge of the events. Owens' behavior on the day of the police car theft further complicated matters. His premature declaration of innocence, before any DNA or fingerprint tests were conducted on the letter found in the stolen car, implied he had inside information. Witnesses from the church also recounted Owens' detailed narrative of Sonia's last moments, which he couldn't have known at the time. As the investigation deepened, many women came forward with allegations against Owens, accusing him of using his police authority to coerce and assault them. This pattern of behavior led to suspicions that Sonia may have resisted such advances, prompting Owens to silence her permanently. However, the evidence was not conclusive. The color of Owens' car didn't match the one described, and the tire marks at the crime scene didn't align with his vehicle. The search for the murder weapon turned up a gun in the evidence room, but it lacked DNA evidence and didn't match the shell casing found at the scene. With doubts creeping in, the investigators wondered if they had apprehended the wrong man, echoing the earlier confusion with Konak, Sonia's friend. The case remained a labyrinth of clues and conjectures, with the truth still shrouded in mystery. In a twist of fate, Benjamin Niles found himself entangled in Sonia Ivanov's case due to a series of unfortunate coincidences. His truck matched the description of the vehicle at the crime scene, and his presence on the same road where Sonia's body was found raised suspicions. However, the rain patterns on Sonia's body indicated She was placed there before Benjamin's visit to the city, exonerating him from the crime. The focus shifted back to Officer Owens when a woman came forward with a chilling account. She had been camping with Owens shortly after Sonia's murder and witnessed him burning clothes in a fire pit. The police's discovery of metal rings from Skechers shoes, similar to what Sonia wore, and other clothing remnants in the fire pit pointed towards Owens attempting to destroy evidence. The charred keys found among the ashes, one resembling Sonia's apartment key, added to the mounting evidence against Owens. Despite the circumstantial nature of the evidence, the woman's testimony and the discovery at the campsite painted a damning picture of Owens' potential involvement in Sonia's tragic end. In a dramatic conclusion to the case, a key found among the burned evidence was linked to a safety deposit box at the post office, owned by Michael Owens, Matthew Owens' uncle. This discovery suggested that Matthew Owens may have used his authority or stealth to obtain a copy of the key, implicating him further in the disposal of evidence related to Sonia Ivanov's murder. Despite the circumstantial evidence and the support he received from church members, Matthew Owens was formally charged and convicted of first-degree murder and tampering with evidence. His attempts to appeal the conviction were unsuccessful, and a new law was enacted in Sonia's memory, ensuring stricter consequences for officers who abuse their power. The case, filled with twists and gaps due to the lack of concrete evidence, leaves many questions unanswered. Yet, the story of Sonia Ivanov's tragic end and the subsequent investigation serves as a somber reminder of the complexities of the justice system and the importance of due diligence in the pursuit of truth.